and welcome to an absolutely lush green and gorgeous Pridelands on a Friday afternoon. For us, it's a balmy 33 degrees Celsius, but it feels just wonderful because the sun is behind the clouds and we're hoping we're going to find you some glorious critters and creatures. Lots of you out there, so wonderful to have you on Live Drive with us. It's been an absolutely spectacular start to the year, and we've got lots of exciting news. And at the moment, I'm just going to see what we can find. We're going to trundle up towards Leopard Dam. The birds have been phenomenal. The ellies are around. You never know with the Pixie Pan. Whoops, there's a hole. Pixie Pan might make an appearance. And yeah, just great to be on drive. And of course, none other than Brian Joubert on camera. So it's the Killer Bees back together. And as I said, we've got some exciting news that'll be coming early next week. Brian, you're being stared at something that's taller than both of us combined. Hello. There we go. Hello. He was obviously listening to my voice and decided, what is making that horrible noise going there through the bush? Of course, it's me, Brent. Hello, everyone. Bonnie, Catherine, Julie, Annie, African Sky, Bones, Barbara, Yvonne, Adash. Thanks from Kenya. Nice to have you with us. And hopefully we'll be in Kenya later this year, but I can't say too much about that just yet. He's very, very interested in something. Nice battered old boy. You can see all that scar tissue built up on his forehead from many a battle for the rights to the ladies, of course. Now, when giraffes stare like that, it's always worth just having a little listen and a little check around. He could be looking for some ladies. However, there could be something hiding in the drainage line. What are you staring at, mister? Well, it's worth going to have a look at. Nah, not that interesting. Often it could be a duiker or a steenbok. But not if he's running like that. Let's see if he turns around and stares back in the same area. Well, he could have got a little fright from us. Now, if it had been a big cat, lion or leopard, he would generally try to put some distance between himself and then get into a position where he could have a look again. So we're just going to wait with him to see what he does. Rosalind, how old is he? Very difficult to age giraffe once they're adults. Now, they live to about 30. And I would say he's probably in his 20s. Now, is he staring at us, Brian? Or is he staring over us? That is the question. Let's see what happens if we move backwards. Unfortunately, there is a little track, a two-track as we call it, that actually crosses through here. So why don't we just cross over into Marula Lane from Leopard Road. You can see that this road has not been used much since the copious amounts of rain we've had. This is a road, believe it or not. The giraffe was standing here and he was staring there, down to our left. And you can see why sometimes finding big cats at this time of the year can be quite challenging. I just want to have a quick, proper look into that beautiful large scotia in the distance there. Make sure there's not a tree climbing impala and a spotted kitty. Always worth having a look, but alas, I see no such thing. But we will continue on the adventure through here. Just a quick check on there's some big paths around here. You can see a perfect spot for a leopard to have a little lie up and have a drink around that waterhole. As I said, it is. Sometimes you just have to rely on a little bit of luck to see spotted cats at this time of the year. Even lions. I mean, this grass in most places is higher than the badger. Well, I'm glad you're here as well, Dusty. Yes, new haircut, well spotted. Julie, there we go. New year, new haircut. Now we're going to pop through onto Marula Lane. Kelly, our absolute pleasure to... oh, hello, big boy. Well, it seems like a little bit of luck is on our side. But, of course, I truly believe that you make your own luck. And great way to start. Looks like a nice big Ellie bull. Well, you can see, lost the road. Oh, big boy. Now, quite a few of these big bulls are in must at the moment. There's quite a few females in estrus. He's already looking like he wants to be a little bit cheeky with us, but that's okay. Oh, yes, you're very scary. Yeah, hey, 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 hey! Stop your nonsense. Hey, I said stop it. Hey, Mister, the hat is a trick. You want to stop an elephant, lift your hat. You can see he's been tusked by another bull in his bottom. I said quite a few of the big bulls are heightened aggression at the moment. Even though it doesn't look like he's in must, he might have been beaten up by one of the big bulls in must. Now again, very important that you don't race away when that naughty behavior happens, because that'll just teach him to chase the car. You can see now he's shown us how big he is. And he's going to head off into the drainage system. Let's go have a little closer look. Now, of course, they could, as I said, with that giraffe behaving the way he is, maybe there is a kitty cat around, and that could also be causing the Ellie to have a little bit of distress, and we got a bit of misplaced aggression, although I think I see some more elephants up ahead, which could even be his reason for being grumpy. Maybe he's being bullied by the bigger boys, although he is quite an impressive chap himself. I'd say he's probably late 20s. Kerry, excellent question. Now, elephant bulls can go into musk at any time of the year, but what happens is your biggest, most dominant bulls, the most impressive, biggest boys, they generally come into must when the most females are in estrus. Now, that can vary depending on year and rainfall and area. So, normally around the Marula season, which is now, is when we get the most bulls in must. But in different parts of Africa, that will be different depending on when good feeding is, or availability to water, and lots of different ecological sort of factors can depend on that. Our pleasure, Rosemary. Now, as I said, I saw some more elephants down here. I just wanted to come have a look. Oh, it sounded like he was almost on top of us. He is on top of us. I know a lot of people's favorite bird. Very pretty. And that electric blue of the woodlands kingfisher. Hi, mister. Now, they actually, we've got quite a few that live in our garden. And they make one heck of a racket all night long. Make sure that naughty boy isn't trying to sneak up on us, Brian. Is he? No. He's not. Okay, good. Kerry, how we tell the difference between male and female elephants, hopefully we'll see some females and some babies just now to show that. But let's just finish looking at this gorgeous kingfisher first. Now, of course, this is an intra-Africa migrant. So they come down from the Sahel, the western savannas, Chad and that area, when Chad goes into winter. And they come spend their time down here in the summer. They breed here. And then when we start drying up, they're going to be flying back up to the top part of Africa. Now, in between, in the forest block, let's have a look quickly. That's going to go here. This elephant's going to walk into that other elephant I saw. Let's see if they might have a little altercation. Where is that other Ellie? He looked like another big bull. Let's see if he's in must. No, he's not in must either. Similar age. Now, elephant bulls, he's actually he's a bit taller, a bit bigger, a bit older, the second bull here. The difference, Kerry, to tell the difference between males and females, generally when you're dealing with adult elephants, it's quite easy. The males are significantly bigger. I mean, a big elephant cow will weigh around 3,000 kilograms. These boys here, that boy we've got on frame now, he probably weighs about 5,000. 5,500 kilos, so 5 ton. The other guy a little bit smaller. Some of the really big Kruger bulls can push 6,500 kgs. Yeah, so little bachelor boys. Hi boys. There's the naughty one to the left who decided to try show us how big and scary he was. And you can see now he's completely calm. Bit of posturing. Jeremy, I wish I knew all of them by name. There's certain elephants that I do know. He's starting his nonsense again. Hey, don't make me take my hat off again. He's just being cheeky. Now, as I said, it's very important not to drive away and speed away, and it just makes them chase you. Now, strange enough, if we have a look at both of them, Brian, if possible, this guy's a little bit closer to us, so he's looking a little bit bigger, but body size, he's quite a bit smaller than the front male. I would say the front male is probably a bit older, and into his early 30s. This guy might be 30, the closest to us. So the back elephant is quite a bit bigger. Oh, there's a nice bit of flatulence. And you can see where someone's put a tusk into his bottom. You see it there, Brian? And it's a bit swollen. That's where he got stabbed. And it's a bit swollen, and that's probably what's causing his slightly bad mood, why he's a bit aggressive with us. But that's almost certainly from another elephant. So you can see a bit of swelling if we have a look at his, just below his bum, to the other big boy. You can see it doesn't have that swelling. So he's obviously been in a tussle with someone. Oh, look at that, stretching up. Now, he's probably reaching 7 or 8 meters there. Such strength. And they literally could throw us around like a rag doll. Absolutely stunning. But I heard there was some breeding herds around. So let's go have a look if we can catch up with a breeding herd of elephants so we can see some babies and stuff. Leave these two boys. And while we're doing that, Mars, the burrowing animals are used to rain. It does rain every year, so yes, some of them would have had to move out of their hollows while it was raining, and we'll have to do some housekeeping and rebuilding. But they are used to it, and of course that's how nature works. The ones who weren't quick enough to get out would have drowned, and unfortunately it is survival out of the fittest out here. Bye, elephants. Okay, off we go. Sharon, this safari will be going for about another 45 minutes. And of course, this is quite a special safari, and it's something that we've just started doing. Sorry, I'm looking at some male leopard tracks there, but they've been driven over. They're not fresh. Not fresh at all. Okay, moving on. So this particular safari is actually sponsored by our incredible patrons or our subscribers. So everyone who's on Patron, they pay a monthly fee to see quite a bit of behind-the-scenes stuff, and they also get live drives that are not available to the public, like this one. This is a public live drive. So this is actually sponsored by our patrons. So you should thank them for bringing you on this live drive. And I'm sure Charles will pop out there if you would like to become a patron and figure out and find out about the benefits, etc., of being a patron. I'm sure Charles will pop the link up. Dusty, where's my painted dog hat? It's right there. Here's my painted dog hat. And my painted dog shirt. Of course, these are available on designed by Brian Joubert on camera on Teespring. Okay. So we're going to bomb up towards Leopard Dam, and then from Leopard Dam, I think we're going to head down towards the south. When I was coming back from town, I saw a herd with quite a few little babies crossing the road there, so I think they're going to be in the southwestern regions of Pridelands, and that's also where the last tracks of the leopard pixie pan were seen. So who knows what could be around in the southwest. UK is still doing the drives. UK is busy working at home at the moment, but yes, UK is still part of the pack, very much so. Obviously, UK specialized in doing these live drives in Japanese, so that's what UK is specializing on, and she will be doing her first Japanese live drives quite shortly. So exciting stuff. Betty, yes, I haven't forgotten. There is, for those who have not yet, you can download the Painted Dog TV app on both Android and iStore. We are in development of a desktop version, so that will be coming out some point this year. And yes, you can keep up to date with all the Painted Dog news on our app. Now, let's go look for some animals. Enough selling ourselves. I feel a bit awkward doing that. Not really my vibe. But yeah, let's go see what other incredible animals we can find. Mathan, well, happy birthday to you. And yes, indeed, a safari for your birthday then.
Happy birthday!
Hey! You don't want me to sing happy birthday?
No.
Really don't want me to sing anything? Okay, there's a leopard dam. Now, of course, a lot of animals are not really focused around the normal bigger water holes at the moment because we've had so much rain. There's a lot of water everywhere. Sometimes on hot days we might find the ellie swimming, but generally the animals are finding water wherever they need, and a lot of water around, so it doesn't look like anything's hanging about at Leopard Dam today, except the impalas. Now, we always keep a close lookout for Edwina around here. For those of you who don't know who Edwina is a bit of an anonymous... Oh dear, elephant pushed a tree across the road. Thank you, Brian. I can't say that today. And she is a female impala that actually has horns. So her DNA got a little bit mixed up. But I'm not seeing Edwina just yet. Darcy-Ann, I'm not sure if Ezelwini is still around. Rosalind, there were some lion tracks down in the area we're heading to this morning of lioness and cubs just below the eco-training camp. And the elephants have changed my plan. I'm going to say goodbye to the little impalas. There you can see the elephants. I'm going to take a different road now, thanks to the elephants. But actually, thank you for reminding me. I actually forgot about those tracks. So I think let's head down to 8-Spun. And we'll go check for that breeding herd first. But then let's head down towards the south, where the lion tracks were called in this morning. Lindsay, they definitely recognize her as a female. I actually saw males trying to make babies with her a few times. So they definitely are able to recognize that she is a female by smell. And female impala that have horns, they're not nearly as robust as the male's horns. They're quite spindly and broken. Or not broken, but flimsy. Not straight and erect like the males. Mars, indeed we will. So we will definitely be putting out a clip of the rhino darting. Brian and Wium are busy with the edits of another job at the moment that we did earlier this year. So once that's done, I'm sure they'll get onto that. We've got lots of exciting things happening. As I said, we'll be announcing Monday. There's a big announcement coming. Who knows? On Tuesday, you guys might get to see a completely new and different reserve. Oh! Thank you so much, Sharon. As I say, it's been quite an exciting start to the year. Lots of exciting stuff happening this year. Hold on, we're going to go over the bumps. You can see the seep lines are flowing. There's water in the road. Water everywhere. So there's going to be a lot of water coming into the dry season. Good for the grazing. There's going to be lots of nice grass around. We should be keeping lots of ellies and buffaloes on Pridelands this year during the dry season, and on Quenga, of course. Catherine, I'm not sure what you were talking about. I don't think it was one of our safaris where there was a mamba and a mongoose. There was, but that was a while ago. But the mongoose didn't survive the mamba. But I think this is a different question, maybe. Oh, okay. Oh, so Wium is now informed me. It is indeed from one of our safaris. It was uploaded. That safari was last year. But unfortunately, no, the mongoose did not survive the mamba. That dwarf mongoose was unfortunately, for the dwarf mongoose, killed by the mamba. But yes, so unfortunately about that. Mars, Animal World Live will be starting up again the first Saturday of February, so not tomorrow, the next Saturday. We're busy going through a bit of a rejig of Animal World Live, so we're building a new set and all sorts of fun stuff. I don't think you could have a better job than what we do, Janet, but I think other people might disagree. Sedan, yes. So we've been running live virtual drives for quite some time now. You can go have a look if you want to find out more information about what other stuff we do. You can just go have a look at the Painted Dog TV website, which is very simply what it says on the back of my shirt. PaintedDog.tv will take you there. Jeremy, we haven't had any poaching incidents in quite some time. There are definitely still poachers in South Africa. Now, your sort of more high-profile poaching, which people are more used to hearing about, which is, of course, rhino, elephant, and the like. That type of poaching is actually in a sort of a massive decline due to COVID. And that's mainly because the traditional sort of routes and stuff, the security on movement in and out is that much tighter. We got a little bit of breakup, apologies. Sorry about that, but we are live from the middle of the bush. But what has happened is there's definitely been an increase in subsistence poaching. So subsistence poaching is not generally on a very big scale. It is not to profit. It is for survival. So a lot of people in the tourism industry and in areas and support industries of the tourism industry have lost their jobs due to COVID, due to the fact that no one is able to travel. And what that has meant is that people have been forced to actually poach to get meat and whatnot to keep their family alive. So there has been an uptake in subsistence poaching, but there is a downtake in the more commercial poaching, such as rhino poaching. Thanks, Becky. Kerry, now that's quite a funny one. That's an excellent question, Kerry. Kerry wants to know, has the animal behavior and whatnot changed due to COVID? No, it hasn't. Now, there have been some publications, I'm not going to say who have tried to make out like the animal behavior has completely changed due to COVID. Of course, in certain circumstances, certain areas, yes, it is possible. But in where we've been, there has not been a change in the animal behavior due to COVID. If anything, in certain areas that are not used to getting a lot of vehicles, the animals might be slightly less relaxed. But as a general rule, I would say the animal behavior hasn't changed significantly at all due to COVID. But that is there was some incredibly bad reporting during the different lockdowns, and also a lot of fake news that flew out there. I mean, there was a picture of a dolphin, which I found out later was from Sardinia, off the coast of Italy, that in a lagoon or a canal near the island of Sardinia, and people were like, oh, it's from Venice because there are no tourists. So unfortunately, Venice is a large city, and there's much silt built up, etc. It is not going to get crystal clear, beautiful island blue in 2 months. So there was a lot of sort of fake news going around about how animals' behavior had changed and areas had changed drastically. Of course, there are changes, but a lot of those changes, like a lot of environmental changes within the earth, are incredibly difficult to see with the human eye, and actually are measured in sort of minuscule little amounts. Dusty, we haven't had any recorded cases of wild animals catching COVID. I'm sure it's possible. Of course, no one is allowed near any of the great apes at the moment. So gorillas, chimpanzees in Africa, I think you have to go through incredibly strict quarantine procedures before you go anywhere near them. Of course, COVID could very easily jump across to chimpanzees and gorillas because of genetically how close they are to us. So, but I have not heard of any wild animals catching COVID. And probably if they do catch COVID and recover, we would never know. Thanks, Kerry. Darcian, well, that's a difficult one. With the flooding in Mozambique, will the poaching increase? I'm not sure, to be honest. It depends where. Most of that flooding was around town, so those areas are generally already quite devoid of wildlife, and the wildlife areas are quite far from some of those areas. But I wouldn't say there would be a significant increase in poaching after flooding. What would happen, it might be in a month or two's time, but not immediately. But yes, so, and again, a lot of what some of us, or some of the sort of Western world considers poaching is a bit more complicated, because, I mean, and a lot of the conservation areas in Mozambique actually allow some traditional hunting and fishing in those areas as an ongoing cooperative agreement with the communities, so to make sure that the harvest is sustainable. Okay. Stacy, I'm not too worried about someone jumping out and giving me a fright while live streaming. I'm normally the one that does that to other people, and I know I'm in control of which vehicles are out and who's out and about. So I'm actually quite confident that no one's going to jump out and scare me. Watch famous last words. Where's Taylor? Yes, now I'm always on the lookout for pranksters who are trying to get me back. Betty, a survival poachers, basically, yes, they'd be going after animals like impala, warthog, nyala, bushbuck. But of course, when setting wire snares, they are indiscriminate in what they catch. So they can catch leopards, hyenas. Hyenas quite frequently are probably one of the others that get caught quite often. But yes, so that's the sad thing about those snares, is that they're indiscriminate. They will, they're not targeting anything. They could pick up anything from a lion to a porcupine. You never know what a wire snare is going to be caught. Now we're just going to shoot down the western boundary quickly. So I think that big breeding herd of elephants should be coming in. They might be feeding in this valley below us. So I just want to use the high ground up along our western boundary quickly. I'm going to go a little bit quicker here. There we go. Yuka's commenting. So I've given Yuka quite a few scares on Game Drive. And I see Yuka said, Team Yuka will get you back, Brent. Yeah. Just you try, Yuka. Just you try. Dicey Bavu is not around. He is going to chase the big wide world in the city for a while to see if that's what he wants to do. Dicey, yes. So the anti-poaching patrols are constantly on the check for snares and in the areas where the snares will be most likely placed. So yes, they are always on the lookout for snares. And any people coming into the reserve. So I mean, where we're driving now is an area that would be checked. So this is the far western part of Greater Kruger. Beyond here is citrus farms and commercial game farms and the like. So yes, these type of roads, as you can see, are regularly driven and checked both by vehicle and by foot patrol. See, everyone's ganging up on me. You can just remember. Oh, hello, hello. Some lion tracks. Looks like last night. And they have been driven over by the anti-poaching guys, but yeah, those are relatively fresh, worth having a look around. Jeremy, we don't have any chimpanzees here. We're a bit too far south. So hopefully it could be those young male lions. Let's have a look. Let me just update the sightings. Let's have a look. Maybe coming down to the south was a good call. Okay, you're going to look out for the lions, Brian. Could be those two young males. They've been hanging around down south here for a while. There's some buffalo around this area, and those two young males do like to hunt some buff. No, the buffalo are quite far away. Afternoon. So there's quite a nice big block in here that these lions could have gone into. There's a gap between two roads. So what we'll do is we'll do a loop round and check the edge to see if those lion tracks don't come out. But I've got a feeling they're in between these two little river systems. Yes, Kerry, we report sightings when we're tracking them. So if I find lion tracks now, I send it out. And then at the moment, there's a couple of other vehicles on game drive. So they'll know also to keep a close lookout for lions in this area. Yes, so we do report sightings and tracking of them. We all work together to try find them the easiest. So it's much easier when we work as a team in finding animals. So while I'm checking here, someone might be checking down to the east of me, making sure those tracks didn't come out. So if the tracks come out to the east, then I don't have to waste time spending a lot of time in this area. I know those lions have moved out, and I can then jump ahead of the person who's got last tracks. Yes, so Kerry, this is the end of Greater Kruger. Our other boundaries are just roads. So even though it is private land and we cannot cross those boundaries physically, the animals are free to roam across those boundaries. So yes, you are correct there. So our northern boundary and our eastern boundary are just roads, whereas our western and southern boundary, that is actually the edge of Greater Kruger. Beyond there is mostly agricultural land. this is that area, and I see people wanting to see Susan. And I think it might have been Susan's herd I saw, but I was in a bit of a rush to get home because I had a meeting, a Zoom meeting, the new normal. I think I've spent more time on Zoom this year than, and I didn't even know what Zoom was like 6 months ago. Anyway, but this is the area I think that breeding herd of elephants moved into. And we got lion tracks in this area, so looking doubly positive. Just keep, oh, there's a little white-faced duck hiding away. Yes, it is a white-faced duck. Oh, it seems like we've got another birthday. Well, happy birthday, Sharon.
Happy birthday, Sharon.
Sharon Davies. Barbara, my brother, is still guiding at Chitwa Chitwa. So when he's got guests, he's there. When he doesn't have guests, he's at home. Well, good to have you back, Peter Panda, as well. Patty, at the moment, because we're in quite a new reserve, we are using mostly cell phones, but we will be getting radios shortly. Patty, do we know about TikTok? We have, oh, Lesser Moorhen. So that's quite a rare bird. You see it there? On the left. There we go, you got it. That's quite a rare bird. And that's just popped up because of the rain. See, that's something else we'll report on the sightings route. There we go. That should be a new tick for a lot of people if you're birders. Cookie Bombay, those boundary fences are electrified with 11,000 volts. They're quite good at stopping animals, except for hyenas, wild dogs, and leopards. There we go. Lovely bird for the birders there, Lesser Moorhen. There are lots of sort of rare birds that pop up with huge amounts of rain that follow the weather. Okay, well, let's go try find some big hairies and scaries. We've got the birders covered now with a speciality bird. But yes, we know about TikTok. I don't know if I can do TikTok. It seems like too much. I'm already on enough things. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. I don't know if TikTok's for me. It might give me a heart attack. It's my clippers in the back still. Oh, apparently we're going to be on Twitch soon as well. So, yes. We know about TikTok. I don't think I'm going to go on TikTok. Maybe Yuka can go on TikTok. Yeah, Yuka, we vote for Yuka to do TikTok. There we go. Some Ellie tracks. I said the breeding herd I saw crossed into this direction. Apologies, there's a little bit of breakup. Okay, we are good. Catherine, no, they just ignore it. They go underneath the fence. They get really good at avoiding the electric bikes. Oh, muddy, 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 muddy. Whee! Splish, splash. Seem to be having a little bit of breakup here. I'm just going to speed up once I'm through the water. Where are those lions? I think they're going to be around this area. Those tracks came down here. But as I say, unless they are very close to the road or we hear an alarm call at the moment, finding big cats is not easy. in this long grass. Oof, the rain's played a bit of havoc with this road. Oh, it looks like someone tried to get stuck here. They did quite a good job of it. That's why we have the Badger. So small, so light, we just slide over the top of the mud. Now they're going to try be in a dry area. They're not going to really want to lie in the wet seep lines, which is why I think they're going to be on this sort of little island area on the other side. And lions aren't too phased by the grass and whatnot, so they could just be flopped in this thick grass. Ha ha, Peter Panda. I don't get stuck as much as other people. I do get stuck. We all get stuck. I just don't get stuck as much as other people. Taylor, Tristan. I've heard, how many times have I been stuck in the last 2 years? Once. And that's because I was being cocky, and I deserved to get stuck because I was being very cheeky, and I did not treat the mud I was driving through with the correct amount of respect. I went too slowly, and I got stuck on. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, twice. I've been stuck twice. Again, that was me being very cheeky. I should not have tried to drive through that area. But I had a lot of people with me, so it was a learning. It was a how to get unstuck tutorial with Brian the intern. Dusty, we do still have our good old school high lift jack that we can lift the car right out if we have to. Oh, hello, Magpie Shrike. Silhouetted up against the cloudy sky. Hi, Marcy. Jeremy, we're driving a good, the vehicle I'm driving is a good old Suzuki SJ, 1983 model. We've obviously made some modifications to it. Indeed, Patty, it is very much the season for getting white. I mean, for getting stuck. Sorry, Patty, your surname's White. Just trying to listen for a second, see if I can hear where those elephants are gone. Good, Barbara. I'm glad at least we taught you how to change a tire. That is one thing we do a lot of, is changing and fixing flat tires. There's a lot of that. We get a lot of flat tires when we're following animals off-road. Yuka's an expert at tire changes now. Yes, indeed, Julie. The nickname for the car is the Badger, after the honey badgers. It's got a honey badger sticker on the side. I don't think you're going to see it from where Brian is at the moment. Good indeed. One of the reasons we insist on our filming vehicles being petrol vehicles is because they're just so much quieter than the diesel engines. Yes, Darcy, I had to change a tire yesterday. What were we looking for down there when Taylor found us? Lions, I think. Yeah, we had found a lion. We had found Lagatha. She was up in a tree, and we were trying to follow her, and we got a flat tire, and I went back to the road to change it. Exactly, painted dog driving a honey badger. And our other vehicle, which is still in the process of being modified, is called the mongoose, the slender mongoose. watch and wait. I chat to Scotty regularly. He's still a very close friend. Scott is actually in Kenya, or about to be in Kenya. He is in a business with some of his friends, and they're selling perfume and creams and lotions and things. I'm hoping, Jeremy, we've actually been speaking to the only person who makes electric safari vehicles for quite some time. The expense of turning the vehicle electric is quite heavy and not something we can afford at the moment. But we are hoping one day to have a fleet of electric vehicles. It would be amazing. I've test driven them. They're incredible. Absolutely incredible. Whoopsie. Sorry, reading questions, not looking at the hole in the road. I'm glad Taylor and I keep you guys entertained. Okay, now where has this elephant breeding herd? And their trucks are all around. There's some eco training students walking. What are they looking at? I'm going to ask Rich if he's heard the elephants. How's it, guys? Hello, Lichad. Good to see you too.
All well?
Very well. I'm looking for this bloody breeding herd of elephant that was here earlier today. I saw them crossing when I came back from town.
We've just come out of the block there, all quiet, a couple of giraffes that side.
Okay.
The Ellie's on and off throughout the day at the dam.
I'm looking for Susan's herd.
Susan,
I had her over here when I was on my way back from town today.
I'm happy we didn't find it.
I like old Susan.
She's nice from a distance.
Say hi to everyone.
Hi everyone, how are you doing?
Yes. We are live. Yes, you're now minor internet celebrities. Don't let it go to your head. Okay, I think I'm gonna go have a look up towards 8-Spun where those lion tracks were.
Okay.
There's male lion tracks. I think there's two young boys coming off the fence line,
Heading this way.
heading into this block between the two drainage systems.
From last night, you reckon?
Yeah, well, it was after. It's relatively fresh. It's been driven over. I think the anti-poaching guys have been driving that boundary road,
All right, yes.
and they've been driven over because it doesn't look like your vehicle tracks.
Yeah. Okay, well, cool, good to know. We'll keep our eye open.
Cool. Enjoy, guys. We're going to continue. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yes, spontaneous interactions with Eco Training Mars. So much fun. I have no idea if there's a link for the perfumes and things. I'll ask Scott. Darcy, I can't keep up with how quickly Taylor names animals, so I have no idea who Linda is. Linda the warthog. Do you know, Brian? No. So this is almost exactly where I saw Susan's herd. This morning was crossing the road, or this afternoon actually, when I was on my way back in from town. Was crossing the road right here. Maybe they looped round back towards town. We'll go have a look. Well, this is the road that we take when we have to go get food and whatnot. When we go into town, this is our main access road. There we go. You're definitely not too old, Julie, to do an eco training course. Definitely not. I'm sure we can make a plan for you there. So they might have actually just, instead of going up where I thought they might have gone, they might have fed through and then come down towards this big valley. Another quite wet area. The elephants really like this area near the exit to town. Dusty, we do use drones, but not regularly and not for live. Also, we need to, in the area we're in, we're very close to an Air Force base. So when we do use a drone, we need to get very special permission from the Air Force, and we need to let them know and whatnot. But we do use drones for filming from time to time. I don't think he was selling lingerie, Barbara. Scott Dyson has done many things, but sell lingerie is not one of them that I have known about. And I've known Scott since I was 16 and he was 14. So I've known Scott a long time. Grumpy old man. No, Susan doesn't cause trouble in town. She can't get to town, fortunately. Patty, no. We're no longer working out of that house. That house has been sold. Is in the process of being sold at the moment. We actually live and work out of Pridelands now. So we live in the main Pridelands. Oh, slender mongoose. Oh, it was too quick. Sorry, Vim. The slender mongoose just darted across the road. Gone. Okay, where are these elephants now? Dusty, so it's the gun discussion is an interesting one. So generally people walking with guests and whatnot will carry a firearm, and in case something goes wrong. I don't carry a firearm when I walk. When you're in a vehicle you don't need a firearm, but when I walk I don't carry a firearm. I rely on my experience. And I also think sometimes a firearm gives people a false sense of security. So if you're not confident walking through the bush without a gun, you sure as hell should not be walking through the bush with a gun. It's my personal opinion. Now things can go wrong, but yeah. So when you do have paying guests, etc., sometimes legally you have to carry a firearm. But it also depends on the reserve and the area and the rules. But I personally, we walk all the time. We track, we cover many kilometers through this thick grass, and we don't carry firearms. And I just make sure we don't get into a precarious position. Hi, Alarimore. Okay, so we're going to extend a little bit, guys. I'm going to see if we can find this elephant herd. Hopefully they haven't gone too far. I see some tracks around here. Oh, and sorry to lose you, Serval Cat. Enjoy work. My dog is fine. She lives at the house. We do have a fence around the house. And when you live in Big 5 area, you've just got to be conscious. So, I mean, when I take her out for a wee at night, she's never allowed out by herself. We've got a small enclosed fenced area for the dogs. Obviously, Viam's dog's also there, Juno. So, yes, I mean, there is always a possibility that you might lose your dog to a leopard or whatnot. But touch wood, I've never lost a dog to a leopard. And you just got to be quite careful and quite vigilant and train your dogs well. Dusty, yes. My hat is quite important in my personal protective gear for walking, and I normally carry a stick as well. And between a stick and a hat, I can stop most things happening. I've stopped elephant charge, hippo charge, black rhino charge, lion charge, leopard charge. What other charge? Buffalo charge, all with a hat and a stick. Darcy, yes. Shoa and Juno are best friends. They play non-stop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a gamble and shoot down to Indlovu Dam quickly. I thought the Ellies might have doubled back on us here. Doesn't look like it. And Richard did say there was some giraffe in this area. Dizzy, I haven't had a honey badger charge, but I have fought a honey badger with a broom. Twice. And actually I've fought a honey badger with a mop. Honey badgers can become quite pests around camps and stuff. But when my parents were building and before I'd bought a house and etc., I was in between spots. So I had all my stuff there and I had a big trunk that was just outside the back. And my parents also lived in the bush. And it was like, I don't know, 11, no, it was later. It was probably 1 in the morning. Honey badger got in there. It was just spreading clothes all around. So the closest thing when I heard him doing it was a broom. So I grabbed the broom and I swept the honey badger away, and he got very angry with me. But he didn't bite me or anything. So yes, they are very tough, but they're not nearly as scary and dangerous as people have. So I said I've battled the honey badgers with brooms and mops quite frequently. Actually, I think I've battled honey badgers with brooms and mops in 3 or 4 different countries. Zambia, Botswana, South Africa, Tanzania. I've battled honey badgers with a broom or a mop in 4 different countries. Oh, elephants! Why are you such a pain? No, Arlaramore, I would not give the honey badger my hat. I would not get it back. No, Vimpy, it's the road just below 8-spun, not the main 8-spun road. I'm going to be able to sneak around. Elephants. Making my life difficult. There we go. Holding on, Brian. I think we made it. We didn't get any thorns in us this time. Hippos, again, it's the same principle as stopping a charging hippo. You stop like you stop a charging rhino or elephant. Stand your ground and make a lot of noise. Sometimes throw things at them. Hats, stones, sticks. Pretty much the same rules apply to most charges. As long as you don't run away, be aggressive, but sometimes throw things at them normally works. But again, don't try that at home unless you have lots of experience. So again, all those type of situations you've got to read on that specific situation. There's no blanket rules for how to deal with those type of things. Dusty, my favorite thing about this time of the year, the birds. I love the birds at this time of the year. Birds and the flowers. I haven't even had a chance to do many flowers today. See if I can find you a very pretty one. There might be one around called a ruby gnida. Normally on these slopes. I'm going to ignore the yellow abutilons. They're quite common. I want to find you a ruby gnida. Pam, these trees are down from elephants, not from the storm. They've been pushed over by ellies. Oh dear, bloody elephants. I will drop pins on the road for the maintenance crew, don't you worry, grumpy old man. So there we go. Another tree pushed down by an elephant. Dusty, yes, shovel's also good to move things, including rattlesnakes. I've never had to move a rattlesnake. I've had to move lots of other snakes, mambas, adders, cobras. Never a rattlesnake. Oh, Dacian, what's my best sighting at Pridelands? Sure, I've had some crackerjack ones. I think one of my favorite sightings was a young male leopard who I nicknamed Twin Spot. Him being chased up a tree by 2 male lions. That's one of my favorites. Sure, we've had some really lovely sightings of those big male lions on Kwenga, which is down to the south, the next farm. And elephant sightings. Too many great elephant sightings. I mean, Susan spraying us with water. What else? Brian, what's your favourite?
The most exciting one is...
Which was the most exciting?
That snake.
Oh!
The snake nearly jumped into the front seat.
The snake that made me say a bad word on a live drive. Yeah, that was quite I got a bit of a shock. Nearly drove over a massive snouted cobra. It must have been 3 meters long. And suddenly just saw this snouted cobra next to my leg. And I said, bad word! Swung the car out of the way. Bucket and BB are well. Marcy, we were with them last week. Yes, there are going to be some very busy chainsaw operators in the near future. But even the impala, we saw a nice herd of impala earlier today and some ellie bulls. But I was hoping to try find this nice breeding herd. But, I mean, the grass we're driving is higher than an impala. You won't even see the impala in the grass. No, I do not keep a chainsaw in the car, Dizzy. Sharon, we have many marulas on Pridelands. There are a lot of marula trees here. Julie, I saw twin spots just before New Year's Eve. It was the last time I saw spin spots. I actually spent like 3 hours with him. It was absolutely wonderful. But again, yeah, he's down in the south, where I wish I had more time to get to. And we're hoping that as we slowly grow and we get another guide to help out Yuka and I, we'll be able to spend more time with the animals. What? No elephants in Ndlovu Dam, not even going for a swim. Let's have one quick squeeze behind the dam. And then I have to get home for another Zoom meeting. So much of the zooming, Brian. Is that an impala in the distance? At least we end on an animal. Actually, we can do... Oh, no, that's why there were people there. See the impala under the knobthorn in the far, far, far distance over there? This side. There we go. Here we go, impala in the distance. And thanks, Goo. Andy, they're not passive carriers of rabies. Jackals are, however, but they can get rabies like anything. And last few questions I'm going to answer quickly. Jeremy, do elephants eat most of the fauna? There, can you show us their favorite food? Now, their favorite food completely depends on the time of the year. moment, their favorite food is grass. During the winter months, their favorite food will be knobthorns, which that tree is, which the impala is standing under. But at the moment, yeah, grass and marula fruit are their favorite foods at the moment. But not all on the not all of the trees are holding fruit. So this is one of their winter favorites, the knobthorn. Thank you, Catherine. Sharon, no, Taylor will be still doing drives for Wild Earth and eco training. Now, just remember a very big thank you to all of our patrons who made this public live drive possible. So this live drive was brought to you by our incredible patrons, and we can't say we wouldn't be where we are without your support, patrons. And thank you for being so generous to share this experience with everyone who is unable to be a patron. So thank you very much. And of course, for those of you who are interested in going on a private live drive with a maximum of 15 people, there are a few slots still available for this weekend. We do them every weekend, and you can find all the information there, how to book everything on the Painted Dog TV website. If you haven't downloaded the app, shame on you. Go download painteddog.tv from either the Google or Android store. But for now, I need to zoom off to go get to another Zoom meeting. Love you guys long time, and chat soon. Mwah!